Okay, so huge welcome to this evening's training, and I am so excited and passionate about running this training because it really just encapsulates everything that I've been kind of researching over the years, trying to figure out why my fibroids had grown so big. And it just gives so much hope and confidence in really empowering your body from a cellular level and being able to empower the next generation, because really and truly, that's what this is about. I know obviously we're here for ourselves, and obviously you're going to be able to impact your own health and wellness with what I'm going to share today, but the key thing is also impacting teenagers, young women that are being put on birth control to manage these symptoms, and then they're getting the aftermath of that. So this is really, really special. I hope that this inspires you and gives you really that confidence to continue to invest in your health and yeah, empower yourself really. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Nina Lemtier, and I'm a nutrition lifestyle strategist. I found myself in this space because I had to help myself. I was told I had to I'd be lucky if I had kids. I was told my fibroids would grow back in a specific amount of time. And it was just such a horrible thing to hear. And I just said, well, that's what you're saying, but I'm gonna figure this out and help myself. And over the years, I've been able to not only shrink the fibroids that were left behind because I asked them to leave them behind because I didn't want to bleed, overbleed during the operation. I've been able to not have them grow back and shrink the ones that were left behind. And I've had my 3 kids um, with healthy pregnancies. So that's how I found myself, in this space. And it's about empowering other women and letting them know that there are alternatives to surgery, repetitive surgery, and the ultimate hysterectomy. So I came across some research, and it's pioneering research is being done in the States. Okay, and it's just incredible what they're really establishing. And it's by the Al Hendy Labs. And if you want the details, just message me afterwards. But when I came across it, I just thought, my gosh, this has to be shared. And it's incredible because it really just it proves that you have to have a holistic approach very early on. And I'm going to go into details about specifically what and how, but the research is happening. I don't know of anything happening in the UK, sadly. Maybe someone might be able to correct me on that, but I've not come across anything. This has been undergone currently in the States. And it really just it highlights the fact that surgery is not the only option. Okay, and it's something that I've been saying for years. So it's really, really exciting. If you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and I will answer them at the end. So, why does this matter? Well, it matters because uterine fibroids affect up to 80% of women by the age of 50. Okay, and traditional treatments often involve invasive surgeries, for example, like the myomectomy, which causes significant recovery time. It causes further complications in regards to scar tissue and adhesions. Um, One of my good friends now, Alero, sadly, that's how she developed endometriosis and other conditions because of her initial myomectomy. And lots of women are experiencing, other conditions from the myomectomy procedure because it is such an invasive procedure, and it causes a lot of disruption. There's endomyosis that is coming out of the myomectomy as well. There is a correlation between the diagnosis and the fact that most of the women that are being diagnosed with endomyosis, they've had the myomectomy. So it's really, really key that the invasive surgeries have to be avoided as much as possible. And the latest research offers serious hope and effective solutions. And did you know that most women are told to let the fibroids grow till they are impacting fertility? This is wild. Like I found out when I had fibroids, they were really big. I wasn't fortunate to know when they were small, but I speak to women all the time that were told when they were small not to worry about them. Oh, if they're not causing any issues, don't worry about them. So basically, the consensus here is that until they're disrupting your fertility or your quality of life, then just forget about them, which obviously is not what we're meant to be doing. And even based on the research that I'm going to go into, there's so much that we should be doing once we are aware of, fibroids growing in our bodies, whatever size they are. So the key findings are that you can use nutrition as an intervention, and there's evidence to support this. Okay, specific natural compounds have proven to support and be and are used as an intervention measure. Developmental epigenetics is basically how early life exposures impact fibroid formation and how we can still intervene on the genetics of how we've kind of grown in the first part of our early years, how we can impact that in adulthood. So there's proven evidence now, and stem cells models are being used to understand how fibroids grow, and what environments cause them to grow faster, likewise cause them to shrink as well. So that's what we're going to go into today. So the nutritional interventions, they've seen that green tea and vitamin D have shown to reduce the size of fibroids and alleviate symptoms. And this is because it acts as an anti-inflammatory, and it also has anti-fibrotic properties. So this is key because there's lots of other natural vitamins, minerals, and food supplements that also have an anti-inflammatory effect. So this is really, really key. So when you are nutritionally deficient from a young age, this increases your risk of fibroid development. And I know I'm from an area of the world where nutrition is not something I ever heard my parents talk about. I'm African, and I don't know, maybe it was the time that my mum, grew up. Her parents never talked to her about nutrition. But what we're seeing is that when we are deficient in certain vitamins and minerals like vitamin D, this increases the risk of fibroid growth. And this is because of the role that these vitamins play in cell regulation. Because cell regulation is really, really key in preventing and shrinking. Okay, so the potential is huge in regards to what you can do with nutrition and to support the cell regulation. And what it means is early diagnosis means you can combine non-invasive options with a holistic approach to create results that will give you much more longevity. Because what we're currently seeing is Okay, if you're diagnosed when they're small, you're told to not worry about them. Then they get to a size where they are causing problems, maybe for your fertility or your quality of life in the symptoms category. And then you're being offered, surgery, much more invasive, strong medication. But so much can be done early on. And even if you are being diagnosed later down the line, a lot can be done in combining the holistic approach with whatever course of action you've been offered by your consultant. And the embolization is key here because the embolization, um, the results vary, and you can get so much better results if you were to combine it with a holistic approach as well. So it's really key to know that it's about combining the holistic approach with whatever course of action that you've been given. So, what else can you do to regulate the cells? Because this is what it's all about. It's about healthy cells so that they're not mutating into fibroids, basically. And it's about creating that environment that will counteract, fibroid growth, get them shrinking, and obviously optimize fertility and your overall wellness. So, conducting a nutritionally dense diet is very key because this is going to increase the level of antioxidants within your body. Key vitamins and omega 3s is key for cellular repair. So making sure you're getting good quality omegas through diet and supplementation is really key. And this will really support how your cells function. Hydration is another key area. Drinking enough water that is got a level of electrolytes is really important as well. This will keep the cells healthy. Regular exercise, this boosts circulation and it also boosts waste elimination as well. So you need to be eliminating waste very regularly throughout the day. This is a key sign that your cells are functioning at a healthy level. And consistent physical activity, it doesn't have to be the gym, could be regular walking, but this is really important because it boosts circulation. Stress management, having a stress management process, whatever that is for you, follow it. It should be a non negotiable because the truth is, if you don't have a stress management process, what's going to happen is life will happen and then you're just going to hit burnout and you're going to have to take time off work and you're going to have to kind of find yourself. So, to avoid that, have a stress management process in place. Have people that you can reach out to have difficult conversations, to just air your thoughts, let it all out, and just have a system. Because what we cannot continue to do is to keep things on ourselves, in our minds, in our hearts, because this turns into emotional uh, trauma that we internalize and then it manifests into ourselves through stress hormones like cortisol. And cortisol causes havoc in the body in a nutshell. So if you don't have a stress management process, write one out, have one that you're utilizing on a week to week basis and review it as well. Check how you feel at the end of the week, check in with yourself, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Quality of sleep as well is key for cellular repair, not just getting 7 to 9 hours. It needs to be stage 4 sleep. So you need to be going into that deep level of sleep. So it might be 5 hours, but you're going into stage 4 sleep. If you're not going into that deep level of sleep, it doesn't matter if you're sleeping for 9 hours, in all honesty, because the cellular repair happens in that deep level of sleep. So just check in with yourself, your sleep hygiene, you know, what time are you on the phone till? Are you sleeping with the phone, in your bedroom? Are there lots of lights on whilst you sleep? Just check in with all those markers because sleep is really critical, particularly for your immune system as well and your gut health. So another key finding is the epigenetics, and really what that is and how we can actually um, impact that. So, what is epigenetics? So, it's a study of how environmental factors alter gene expression. So, to summarize, we are obviously, some women are more genetically prone to fibroids than others. And then you're obviously going to have the fact that some women would have had a certain level of nutrition exposure through their developmental years, through whatever their parents gave them, through supplements or whatever. And some women won't have that. So all those factors now impact that gene expression. So what the study identified was that we can actually impact that in adult life. We can impact that expression, which is, it's amazing because it gives you confidence in what you're doing in a holistic scheme of things, and you can have confidence in that and not think, oh, these are just supplements I'm taking or whatever, because it's really, really key. So what the findings were was that early life exposures such as nutrition, stress, and toxins actually alter the gene function, and it impacts long term health. So, how your nutrition is early on, it matters. How stress levels matter, toxin exposure matters. So, all these things that we're obviously watching
Yeah,
now
things like
in
stress add to it.
the treatment of fibroid growth are the key factors that have been identified.
When you go to Ghana, you get good vitamin D, so it will help.
Who's that? Sorry, let me just mute that person. Okay. Oh gosh, where's my screen gone? Right. Yeah. So all those factors are very key, and changes in the DNA methylation can be adjusted through lifestyle and environmental interventions. So, what that means is you can actually impact how your DNA performs through lifestyle and diet adjustments. Now, so this is how you can stop fibroids from growing and get them shrinking. So it's all been proven now, which is so exciting. And if you have a family history of fibroids, um, early life exposures can increase your susceptibility. So if you are at risk, so if you've got family members that have fibroids, they have seen a link that it means you are more susceptible. However, you can still, modify and make changes that will lower your risks. So it doesn't mean that, there's no hope. Yes, genetically you are more at risk, but you can still counteract and make, key changes that will impact how your DNA functions, and what that will transpire in regards to your cells and your cellular function. So it's incredible. It really is. So what's actually happening is they're replicating fibroid growth in the labs, which will allow for faster testing of potential therapies. Um, it's also going to reduce the reliance on traditional surgical methods, and it's going to accelerate the development of personalised treatments as well. So this is really, really key. Now, what does it really mean for the future of fibroid care? Nutrition focus needs to be a lifestyle. It needs to be one that we have to empower, women, young girls from a young age about the power of nutrition and the role that nutrition needs to play in their lives, because we've seen that this is a key factor in, well, deficiencies is a key factor in the formation of fibroids. So nutrition shouldn't be something that's later on in life when we're struggling. No, it needs to be instilled from a young age, that understanding and that approach, because this is key to reduce the the growth of them. So it's a lifestyle, yeah. And the fact that it's been proven to, vitamin D and green tea is incredible, because it's about that anti-inflammatory impact, which is remarkable, because we've got so many items, so many food supplements, so many minerals and vitamins that have an anti-inflammatory impact. So that's really, really empowering. And the epigenetic research also opens the way for a preventive strategy as well in regards to those environmental impacts, lifestyle, diet, nutrition. And the stem cell studies are accelerating the therapeutic innovation, because it's being done right now in the labs. They're growing the fibroids to really test and see, so that we can get many more options. Because the issue, I think, in the UK is that the research isn't being done. So the guidance right now is doctors are telling women to not worry, which is just mind boggling when we've got all of this understanding. There's so much more advice women should be given. There's so much action they should be taking, and they're actually just being told, well, if it doesn't affect you, if it's not causing any issues, and you're not, we'll come back to us if you try for a baby and you don't have a baby. See, that needs to stop. That needs to end. So we're not going to wait for the British government to decide that that needs to end. We're going to do that ourselves. Thank you very much. And start to empower ourselves and empower as many women as possible, and let them know that actually there's a lot you can do to reverse the growth, get the fibroid shrinking. And it's about taking intelligent action as early as possible on your journey. Stay updated with, the latest breakthroughs. This is also key. And just stay informed, keep empowering yourself. And yeah, just keep believing in your healing. And it's totally not normal. We're being made to feel like it's normal for, particularly Black women. No, it's not normal. Um, and it will never be normal. We won't accept it as a norm for us. So thank you for listening. I hope you got some nuggets of wisdom. I'll just check and see if there's any questions.